Home is where connections are made, memories are formed, and ideas are born. And no one knows home better than NFM. Thanks for tuning in to I Am Home, the podcast that goes deeper than trends and dives into what it means to make your house a home.
Hello and welcome to I Am Home, the Home Life Best Life podcast. I'm Tyler Weiskup, joined by my co-host who's no weeds, no worries, just beautifully manicured conversationalist. It's Becca Sudbeck.
Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Becca. And our other co-host, she mulches drama and blows away boredom. It's Hillary Waltemath.
Hey, Tyler.
Hi, Hillary. Today on I Am Home, we're joined by someone who's turned everyday lawn care into something extraordinary. We've got Spencer, the founder of SB Mowing, hence my terrible lawn puns, of course. And he's really like the biggest name in lawn content across like every platform. We're talking 50 million followers. He's got over 3 billion views now for his videos, and they've captured kind of hearts around the world. And not just for the satisfying transformations, but for the kindness behind them. So we're going to talk to him about that. About helping people in neighborhoods and hopefully get a lawn care tip or two from him as well. But first, let me tell you why we're even doing this podcast. And that's because NFM is more than just your everything home store. We're in the business of improving lifestyles because your home life should be your best life. And you can learn more at nfm.com. Okay, so we're on officially with Spencer. Hi, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be on here.
Of course, we're so honored to have you. And I know part of your story is you started mowing with kind of a what you kind of referred to as like a middle school hustle kind of job that you're putting together, offering, I think you were at some point you're offering some free lawn care even way back then. But was there a single moment or a specific person that turned that middle school hustle into what is kind of a little bit more of a mission today, I would say, or was it kind of a slow evolution?
It was a very slow evolution. I don't think there was one specific moment or person that really kind of turned from middle school Spencer into what I am today. And I think it just started where my buddy Chris and I would go door to door. I think I was 10 years old and he was 12, and we were just trying to make some cash to buy some video games, probably. And we got a couple clients, and we'd use my dad's push mower and his dad's weed eater. And the first lawn we did looked like crap, but luckily, I think he went like halfway over into the neighbor's yard on accident with a mower, and it was really bad. But luckily, the customer was a really nice older man, and he understood, and he went and talked to the neighbors. So we actually did end up mowing the neighbor's yard for free. But so it just grew from there. I grew. We kind of just split our own ways eventually, and I just kind of kept growing the lawn care business. And I got a couple employees and was doing it through high school and through college. And I moved about 2.5 hours away from Wichita to go to K-State. And so I would drive back every single weekend, Friday through Sunday, to mow lawns and just to keep up with the business. And then I had a couple guys helping me during the week to kind of keep up with our customers during the week. And I think what really kind of got me onto the route of what I'm doing today is, believe it or not, probably COVID. I was in my dorm room. I was so lonely. I couldn't go do anything, as you all know, for quite a while. Yeah. So I would just sit in my dorm room, and whenever I, wasn't mowing or didn't have homework or whatever, I'd watch YouTube, and I got pretty addicted to YouTube. And I came across a couple guys kind of doing what I do. They would go and do yards for free, and I'm like, whoa, that's super cool. And I've done stuff like that before, like when my crew and I would see a neighbor next to a client's house. It's just like really bad. We'd offer to mow their yard for them real quick, because with our big commercial equipment and two guys, it'd take us 5-10 minutes, where it would take them, I don't know, a few hours maybe, or a few days. And so yeah, I just thought it'd be something that would be really cool to kind of like jump on this train and kind of do what these other people are doing and start recording it and sharing it with the world. And when I started it, I was just kind of doing it for fun, just because, you know, I was already doing lawn care. It was kind of my expertise because at that time I'd been doing it for a decade already. And so I just kind of fell in love with the video making process. I fell in love with helping people out and just kind of sharing this journey online with people. And then from there, it just kind of took off, and people started watching it, and people started falling in love with my videos and watching my journey. And that was a little over 3 years ago now that I started the social media part of things.
That's crazy. I have been bragging all week that we're talking to Spencer from SB Mowing, and everybody is like elated that and a little jealous, I think. But I'm so curious to know, you mentioned you went to K-State. Like at that point, did you think there was like a future career opportunity with what you were doing? Like, was that in the back of your mind at all when you were deciding what you wanted to do after you graduated high school?
Yeah, I've always been entrepreneurial. I knew, so I studied computer science in college. I've always been a techie, computery guy. During high school, I built my own gaming computer, and I'd help all my friends build their gaming computers when that was real popular. And then, so yeah, I went into computer science and software development. And once I graduated, or actually during school, I got an internship doing mobile development, and eventually went full time once I graduated with that company. And so, you know, I just kind of expected to do that as a career, and then, you know, keep up with the lawn care as kind of like a side hustle, kind of like a weekend thing, just because, you know, I've been doing it for so long. I loved it. I didn't really want to let it go. A lot of clients that kind of depended on me, a lot of older clients that, you know, they would have to, you know, find somebody else to mow for them and stuff like that. And so I just kind of wanted to keep up with that. Yeah, I had no idea that I wouldn't be doing computer science stuff anymore, and that I would actually be mowing lawns full time. And like now I don't take on any clients anymore. My brother has taken over all the clients, and I'm able to make my income from social media now. And I'm able to just go out and provide my service for free to anybody that really needs it.
That's so impressive. Yeah, I mean, like having a side hustle during college is difficult as is. I've only taken one computer science class. That was my freshman year of college. I have no idea what I was doing. There was a lot of ones and zeros. We had a 3-hour lab every week. I couldn't tell you what I did in those 3 hours. So I can't imagine studying computer science and having a side hustle. That's so impressive.
Yeah, it was tough. It would have definitely been easier if ChatGPT were around to help me kind of like walk me through what different like lines of code did and stuff, and trying to figure it out by myself.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, Spencer, you know, lawn care is your thing now, and creating these videos. But you know, you're also like handing out free mowers like Oprah. You're raising hundreds of thousands of dollars for worthy people and worthy causes. I saw one video where you even rescued a cat in distress. So you're literally, I would say, like making people cry with this content.
Yes.
Myself included. Do you feel like that there should probably be a warning label on your videos, like warning feels ahead? Just curious your thoughts there.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I mean, I just do whatever kind of God puts in front of me, because I mean, I just go out and mow. Like I'm trying to do like 4 crazy overgrown lawns a week. That's usually what I can handle on my own. And so, you know, whenever something like that pops up, it's just super cool. And honestly, it still seems unreal that I'm able to, you know, have the influence to do something like that for like somebody like Beth. We raised almost $900,000 for Beth. The cat that I saved, you know, no cat shelter would take it, because he was really injured, and they're like, yeah, we don't take injured cats. We only take healthy cats that we can adopt out. But you know, the one place that took it, you know, I just kind of fell in love with their story, and so did my viewers. So I think we raised almost $300,000 for them, and it's just crazy. Like it's still unreal in my mind, the amount of influence that I can have for something like that. I guess it's because it's just online behind a screen. It's not, I can't look out into a field and see everybody that's donating or following or that my content's affecting. And so, it's just absolutely unreal to me still.
Yeah. And your content is such, like, I was describing it to someone, it's such a palate cleanser in like a number of different ways. Like just watching you do that work at that speed and that sound, it just like pets my brain in the right way. And then there's just like a mess of other like content that's like consuming our For You pages and evokes a lot of other like uncomfy emotions, I would say. And so just like coming across your videos is such a nice palate cleanser, just not only to watch, but just seeing more good that's being done. Yeah.
Really, it's just great to see someone going out there and doing something good.
Yeah. With no intention other than to just do good.
Yeah, I get a lot of comments about, it being super satisfying and it just being really nice to see something scroll across their feed that's not, negative or has to do with politics or like something that just, I get sick of scrolling past or that people just call brain rot at this point.
Right.
To kind of piggyback off what we're talking about here in this idea, like you said, you can't sometimes look out into the field when you're recording the video and see this community that you've kind of really shepherded over the last few years that you've been doing this, but you have kind of built this real online community. So I'm just curious, how has your definition of community changed since you started this work?
Yeah, it's one thing that I've noticed is that here, let me answer your question first before I get on to a tangent. I tend to do that a lot. I got to reel myself back in. Community is not, you've got your local community, but really with social media, it really intertwines everybody across the world into, a tight knit human community, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what I see as community now, just because we have so much access to people. And we can reach out to anybody in the world and talk to them, with a message.
So now that you're not just mowing, you're directing, you're editing, you're storytelling. What about being like a content creator surprised you the most? Obviously we've talked about this impact that you've made, but is there something beyond that is just like, I didn't really expect that?
Yeah, I just really enjoy the artistic side of it. I really enjoy, creating a video and editing it and just, turning, all these different clips and images that I'm taking that are honestly like way harder behind the scenes to capture a lot of this stuff than a lot of people realize. And just taking all of that and editing it into a final product that, I can just, I guess it's kind of like a musician. They're making their music and then they share it with the world. Well, I'm making my videos and putting a lot of work into them and sharing them with the world. So I really like putting those out and just kind of getting artistic with them and getting that side of my brain out of me, because obviously right brain, left brain, computer science is a way different side of my brain than making videos. So it's nice to access a different part of my brain for sure.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, on average, how long does it take you to like edit and put together one of those videos?
Yeah, so it obviously depends on how big the transformation is, how crazy the lawn is, because that increases the time that I'm at the lawn, it increases the time of editing. It also depends on how long how long it takes to find that yard. So just to put in context, my wife and I will hop in the car and just pick one day of the week, and we'll drive up and down every street in a section of town. And we'll usually be driving for like 6 to 8 hours, and we'll write down every single like tall grass yard that we come by and just put notes on it. And then we'll go back and we'll start the worst one first and just do those from there. And so I think for like a video that you're watching, just say like you go and watch one of my TikTok videos. That video probably takes me and my wife probably around 30 to 40 hours between finding the lawn, mowing the lawn, editing the videos, publishing it across all of our socials. Probably about 30 to 40 hours of video.
It's a significant amount of time.
Yeah, I've made like 3 TikToks. I've tried to do something creative and I'm like, nope.
I don't put in 30 to 40 hours on those 3?
No.
Okay, well. now we know what
It's
we
like
gotta
a
do.
carousel of photos that I
You
pick a
know what it
song.
takes now.
Yeah.
Well, Spencer, you've had we kind of mentioned it at the beginning, like the 3 billion plus views now, which is just such a crazy number, and I'm sure that you talked about how surprising that is for you. What's one video that you didn't expect to go viral, but it blew up anyway?
Actually, my very first video, I put my very first video out on YouTube, and I got like maybe 50 views or 100 views or something like that. And I thought that was super cool. I thought that was a ton of people. And then, TikTok was, getting pretty big at that time. This was fall of 2021. It was pretty big at that time, but I didn't hop on the TikTok train. I'm like, I do not want to get on that app. There's no way. But my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time. She convinced me. She's like, listen, you need to make this like a 60-second video and just do a little voiceover on it and just make a TikTok video and post it over there. Like everything's going viral over there. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And so I posted it over there, and yeah, I think it got like 6 million views in like the first week. And it just got my blood pumping, and I was like refreshing like every like 2 minutes to see how many more views it had. And I was reading all the comments, and it just really like put some adrenaline in my system. And I think that's what really got me hooked on loving this, video creation process and social media.
That's interesting because you're so into the YouTube rabbit hole that you were talking about, but like how quickly TikTok just helped kind of pump that up. And I know, there's an image of you sharing the YouTube, like the plaques and things that they give out to content creators once they've hit certain tiers. So I think that's interesting that TikTok is maybe part of the reason that helped you pump along, but you're still, that YouTube part of you still holding on to that and have made significant progress over there too. Was there like a moment when they started feeding each other, or how did that work?
Yeah. So obviously TikTok, there was a while on TikTok where you could only upload, I think it was 60-second videos, and then they moved up to like 3-minute. And so I would always, fit as much as I could into the TikTok video. And then I would say, hey, check out the full transformation over on my YouTube channel. And so I kind of got people going back and forth from there. All my, really dedicated TikTok fans wanted to get over to my YouTube channel to watch the full transformation.
Definitely. That makes sense. And we talked a little bit about Beth and that story of like raising $900,000 now on a GoFundMe for her, which is really incredible, but it carries a certain amount of weight, I'd say. How do you balance like that emotional and logistical challenges of these projects? We talked about the 30-40 hours of them, and then I imagine like the time on the back end of helping kind of set up a GoFundMe and all those kind of pieces. How do you balance that with like your personal life?
Oh, it's hard. It's very hard. Yeah, it's especially during the summers when mowing season full fledged. Like I'm working overtime, and so I think just being very intentional about everything, being very intentional about when I'm working and when I'm not working. I have a very my brain has a tendency to be constantly just thinking of new ideas and like things I have to do to better myself, better my business. And so it's very hard for me to turn that off. And sometimes I can't, but just realizing that, sometimes I need to take a break and I need to spend time with the wife. And yeah, it's just something that I've personally been learning. And for anyone else that is ever struggling with that, I think with anything, you kind of have to hit a rock bottom. And my rock bottom was working so much that like I just get burned out. And so, yeah, I think just realizing your limits and knowing that you need to take breaks and you need to take time, even if you're grinding and really trying to build your business. Yeah, it's there's definitely ebbs and flows and a balance that needs to be had. And it'll be a constant challenge for anybody, but it's always a constant challenge for me.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, I mean, like you think about like just looking at TikTok as an example, or you could even take this broader to like content creation. I feel like that has evolved so much. I mean, like 2020, I think is when like TikTok really started to blow up, and in just 5 short years, like to your point, went from 60 seconds to 3 minutes. I think you can go up to 10 minutes now,
It's
maybe
an hour
So-
now. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Jeez.
So yeah, just with how much the like content creation has evolved, I imagine like protecting your peace and your personal time is going to have to evolve with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm curious, like on the flip side of that, what's something about making these videos where you're helping people's homes feel safe and livable and loved? What's one thing that you learned from all these transformations that you bring into your personal life, and how has that maybe helped you in kind of building that your more personal community?
Yeah, I think it's I was always a very big procrastinator, and now everybody wants to see a new video at 8 a.m. every single Friday. And if that video doesn't get out, then I'm getting lots of emails immediately.
Oh
And
my word.
And so I think this whole thing has taught me a good sense of structure, and that it's a lot better to just get things done up front so that you don't have to worry about them anymore. Yeah, it's definitely changed me in that regard for sure.
That makes total sense. One of the things we were hoping maybe a couple lawn care tips, and you talked about how having the commercial equipment helps you kind of blaze through lawns. But I'm curious if there are any efficiencies that you learned, maybe even just in your early days before you had you talked about using the push lawnmower. Any efficiencies or shortcuts that you learned that you might be able to help kind of Joe Schmo homeowner get more efficient at mowing their own lawns?
Yeah, so the first thing, if you're watching my videos, it is not the most efficient way to do things.
Oh,
Yeah, I get so many comments like, "Oh, why don't you mow the grass first instead of edging and doing all this?" I'm like, "Well, then it doesn't look as good for the video if it's not as overgrown while I'm doing all that." And so, definitely mow first. Get all that grass cut down. If you can if you've got a crazy overgrown lawn, put a side discharge on your mower instead of trying to mulch it up. Just side discharge that stuff out of there to get it out. It might look bad for a little bit. You can even go over it and mulch it afterwards, but it's going to decompose back into the grass. It's going to be okay. As long as you're getting it cut down with the side discharger, it's going to be way easier on your mower, and you're going to be able to go through it way quicker. And then with like if you're trying to edge an overgrown sidewalk or like your overgrown curbs or something, get it cut back as much with a weed eater first. I don't do that in my videos. I just go straight at it with the edger. But if you can get it cut back with the weed eater first, get it cut down with the mower, and then go at it with the edger, and then get a shovel and just scrape it all out of there. It's just a lot easier getting everything cut back as much as you can first before doing that, because that's the most labor intensive. Other than that, just get ready for a lot of hard work and labor.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, Spencer, we're getting close to the end of our time. I wonder if we can play a quick game with you. I really like your merch. There's the iconic "I'm sexy and I mow it." You've got lawn enforcement officer and of course Grass Daddy. So I came up with a few new merch ideas for
buckle
you.
up.
And I'd love to shoot them your way, and then you tell us if it is a mow, as in yes, print it, or no, as in mow it down and forget it ever existed.
All right, I like it.
Ready to play? Okay, great. Okay, first merch idea: the Sod Father. Mow or no? Mow or no?
I'm gonna say no to that one.
Ooh, okay, all right. I thought that was a strong start. So these next few I'm a little worried about. Okay, no worries. Okay, Spencer, what about Jurassic Yard?
Ooh, Mo for sure.
Yes.
I
Okay.
said that one.
Ding, ding,
Mo
ding,
for
got
sure.
one. Okay. In addition to lawn enforcement officer, I like this one for you. Lawn and order mow unit. Dun, dun. I have to put that in
Mo.
like. Okay.
I like that one.
You
Yeah,
like that one.
yeah.
Excellent.
You've got to do the music with it.
Yeah,
Right.
you gotta add in like like what parentheses
The
on the
sound
bottom.
effects. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have like a button where you can put on the shirt. Okay. Straight out of topsoil.
Ooh, I'm gonna say no.
Oh,
A no on
he
that one.
contemplated.
Okay. All right. You got me thinking. That's all
I
right.
feel like that just doesn't make too much sense. I mean,
Fair enough. He was
Yeah,
protecting your
yeah.
feelings.
it does a little bit, but
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm not hurt. Clipping ain't easy is my next one.
ooh,
Clipping ain't easy.
that could also go for like a barber shop or something.
Yeah, I was thinking
Not specific enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
nail salon.
Yeah.
All right. So
We'll
that's
say-
going to be a no.
We'll say no. We'll say no.
We've got like 1 or 2 mo's so far. So hopefully I can win you over. I just have a few more. Smells like fresh cut spirit.
I like that one. Mo.
A mo.
This
Yes.
is her
Perfect.
fan.
All right. I'm really proud of this one. The Great Raspy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mo. I like that one.
Excellent.
It's a
Excellent.
fun one to say.
Okay. This one. I don't know about this one. SB Lawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna. No.
A hard pass.
That's a yeah, no.
Okay. Avengers Lawn Game.
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. All right. I think we're about 50% here. Maybe I'll push us over the edge. Last one that I have for you is A Star Is Moan.
I like that one.
Word.
I love that one.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Well, Spencer, thank you so much for
It's
playing. I had really fun, a lot of fun getting to know you.
Yes.
Wait.
you're-
I've got one question. Did you come up with those yourself or use AI?
I came up with half of them. Okay.
All right.
I went through AI, gave me a couple prompts, and I'm like, you know what? You're not good enough. Let's. The Great Raspy was one that I came up with that I'm particularly proud of.
Nice.
It's Great Gatsby is celebrating their 100th anniversary. So
Really?
yeah. It just, I think last week was the 100th anniversary of that book. So not that has anything to do with this, but
I guess
Fun
I'll
little
have to do
fact.
a
The
merch
idea.
shop. New merch shop coming soon.
Yeah. Tyler loves these opportunities.
Yeah.
So
well, again, Spencer, I really appreciate the time. You're cut above the rest. I want to thank my co-hosts, Becca and Hillary. I want to thank our producers, Ann and Scott, and all our listeners. Hit us up on nfm.com/podcast for all your home life questions and a chance that we'll talk about them on this show. Bye for now. But remember, home is what you make it.
Thanks for joining us today for I Am Home with Tyler Weisskopf, Hillary Waltemath, and Becca Sudbeck. No one knows home quite like NFM. So if you'd like more information on home design at NFM, please check out nfm.com and leave us a review on the podcast platform of your choice.